Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I think, and I hope you can hear me. Michael, you can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hopefully you can hear me too.
I can hear you.
And I also can see you.
But I think it's a bit dark in here, isn't it? So
perhaps.
Let me use my perfect Anocean remote to bring the light up. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining today's webinar. Yeah, unfortunately, Light and Building has been postponed to September, as you all should know, I think. My name is Michael Lange. I'm from Eltako, here together with my colleague, Michael Tunte. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, Michael, too. So best regards from the north of Germany.
Thank you, Michael. This webinar will be recorded and afterwards uploaded to YouTube. But we thought about not having a technical training today. This will come up in other webinars. They will come soon. So today we will give you an overview about our new products, same as we will show or would show you on the Light and Building fair. On the lower or upper side, depends on what software you're using, you can find a chat. Chat is today not so important. More important is the Q&A or F&A, depends on the language, section. You can ask questions and we try to answer them. Answer them by text or answer them by voice. We also have a special guest here today, this little guy, and he will help us to show you the new products and bring us through our Light and Building booth, the virtual booth today. So we switch to the virtual booth here and we go one slide forward. So this could be the booth as you would see it in Frankfurt. Now we go into it in a digital way, and let's say we have our small guy here and we will call him L. Yeah. So we meet there at one of our two desks and we warmly welcome you to our booth on the virtual Light and Building. L is guiding us to the first board, and on the first board we can see some news. What will be on the first board visible? It is our new range of DALI devices. And this one will be shown and presented by the other Michael.
Yeah, welcome once again. Yeah, DALI, perhaps a lot of guys from you knows DALI from installing or using it already. And we also from Eltako talked about DALI since many years. But in the past, we only offered two gateways so that we can talk with an ocean to DALI. And yeah, Michael shows us the next page. And on the next page, we can see that with a DALI range now, we will offer you completely the possibility to work with DALI directly. So Eltako is also now a member of the DALI Alliance. And this is very important because now we can offer you directly DALI devices, what you are possible to install into the circuit of your DALI circuit at least. So these 18 DALI devices I will show you in a short overview. These DALI devices will make the worldwide portfolio of Eltako much more bigger. So it's a new product group of Eltako. Next page, please. If you want to work with DALI, you need at first a connection so that you have the option to make all these settings on the DALI side. There we are offering two DALI different devices. They are called sometimes DALI mouse. This is a small built-in device. And on the other side, we also will offer you the option to work with a DALI device called a flash USB device for the DIN rail. With these devices, you are having the option to give an address to all the DALI devices. You can configure all the settings. You will receive also the status response from the DALI devices separately. And of course, you can make all the settings of all different DALI components, what are connected to this DALI line. With the DALI USB flash device, you have also the option to store your completely project on the DALI DIN-rail device. So you don't have to store it on your computer. Of course, you should do it, but there is every time the option to store it also on the DIN-rail device. These are the two options to connect to a DALI bus so that you can work with all the settings. On the next page, we will see a very important device, what is used more and more nowadays, and it will be more important in the future because we are talking about tunable white LEDs, where you have the option to control not only the brightness of an LED stripe, no, you also can change the color, yeah, from cold to warm white. And these changing of colors is used more and more also in offices, so that you have, for example, a little bit more warm in the morning, cold over the over noon, and a little bit more warm up to the evening. And this device, the DL-CTV, will do it automatically. So there is the option to send every minute, for example, a new telegram, so that it will change the color. And you also can decide it to change the brightness, or if you have the option to do it over our gateways with a brightness controller, so that the brightness is also going automatically up and down depending on the daylight. This is then the device to control the tunable white ballast gears. And on the next page, we will start with the actuators, with the ballast gears, what we are offering to control DALI ballast gears or controllers. We are starting here with a 4-channel LED dimmer. You are hearing right, it's a 4-channel LED dimmer. And if you see the size of the devices here, they are very, very small. I think the pages are not showing the real size of the devices. For example, the small built-in, it's so small that you cannot believe it, that you can have here the option from 8 amp up to 16 amp if you decided for a ceiling device or a DIN-rail device. Yeah, this is at least a 4-channel LED dimmer and possible to control over DALI. And there is a second option to do it over a wired push button. It's called switch dim. And over these two push buttons, you have the option, if you don't want to work with DALI, you can control the device directly with 2 push buttons, one for on and off and dimming the brightness, and you also can change the color. On the next page,
Michael,
yeah.
short interruption. There is a question from Niklas coming up. Is there a video where I can see the lights following the daylight? I think we as Eltako don't have such a video right now.
No, not
Let
right
us
now.
check that. If we find one, we can forward that for sure. But
yeah, then it should be in how is it called, speed mode, so you don't want to wait.
Time-lapse. Yes, exactly.
So
okay,
but if there is a video, I think you can see it on YouTube as well. So check it, tunable white LED stripes, where you have the option to dim automatically up and down over the day. Yeah.
Great. Hans is asking, is it 8 amps over the 4 channels or 8 amps per channel?
Per channel.
Per channel.
Per channel. Per channel. That's absolutely crazy for these small devices. But we will talk later also in separated webinars in detail over the technical features. There are so many options, so we don't want to implement all these technical options into this webinar, because over DALI we can talk also 2 hours alone, because all these different devices are having so many options.
Absolutely correct. As mentioned at the beginning, it's not a technical training today. I know you guys all have so many questions. You're absolutely free to ask them, but we need to save a bit time today, otherwise it takes hours, and we will continue with proper technical webinars the coming weeks.
Yeah. And we will prepare separated technical trainings for it over the webinars at the moment. And if it's allowed in the future to travel, we also will make private trainings, let me say.
Exactly. All right, let's continue with the next slide, correct?
Yeah, we can go through there a little bit faster, because now you see that we talk here about a 4-channel, and on the next page, there is a 3-channel LED dimmer. So the difference is here only that you are having now only 3 channels, not 4, but the same technical features. So this is only a decision. What do you need? Do you need 4 channels? Do you need 3 channels? Or do you need only 1 channel, for example? Yeah, it's depending also at least what you need and what you want to pay. If you only need 1 channel, it's cheaper to buy, of course, only a 1-channel LED dimmer instead of a 4-channel LED dimmer. But if you don't know in the future what happens, you can decide it for a 4-channel, and then you can increase very easy up to 4 channels. Yeah, but the technical details of these at least 9 devices are exactly similar. The difference is only 1 channel, 3 channel, 4 channel. And on the next page, it's a little bit more interesting, because then we are talking about an RGB dimmer. So blue, what is it? Blue, green, and red. These are the 3 colors what we are possible to dim over these RGB dimmer. And you're also having here the option to decide it to control it over DALI, or instead of DALI, over 2 push buttons. So 1 for the color and 1 for the brightness. Yeah, it's every time possible with these devices to decide, do you want to do it over DALI? Of course, then you have more options. Or you can install 2 push buttons and control it directly like an hardware solution. Yeah. On the next page, you see these 2 devices, what we are offering for the tunable white LED stripes. So you can control here the warm white and the cold white stripes. You can buy 2 different stripes, one with cold white and one with warm white, or you have the option to buy directly a tunable white stripe, where are 2 different LEDs directly on the stripe. But you can decide it by yourself. If you want to mix it, it looks a little bit more professional, the light, if you're buying a stripe with the LEDs directly on 1 stripe, not 2 separated stripes. And this device is receiving the telegrams from the first device what we have seen, the CTV, what is sending out over the DALI bus, the telegrams for the different colors, and if you decided also for the brightness. So this is a combination about tunable white ballast gears and a tunable white controller. I think this was our last device from the DALI range, and I'm giving back to Michael, and you see we are still on the booth on the light and building.
Yeah, thank you, Michael. This is our amazing DALI portfolio we are offering now. Let's continue on the next board. So L is already moving to the second board, and let's check out what's on here. Tubular motors. We are now offering tubular motors in two different, not different styles, but two different specifications. This is FRM60 M10 and the M20. And these are perfect for replacements into a 60mm tube you have on your blinds. These tubular motors have the Enotion wireless chip on board. So you only need 230 volts power supply, and then you can teach in a battery-free Enotion push button by our tap codes. That means there are some different sequences of tapping codes, and you tap 3 times, 4 times, etc. for teach your push buttons into that. They are extremely quiet, and I really mean extremely quiet. If they are installed, you don't hear them moving in the quiet mode. They are made for 60mm tubes. Again, the two differences are the strength. It's 10 Newton meters and 20 Newton meters, depends on the size. And they are absolutely perfect for replacement. That's a pretty quick slide now. There's not that more to explain you about these tubular motors, but it's really important to know, yes, Eltako is not only having the actuators for blinds now, we also offering the motors, which have Enotion already on board, and they can be connected to your existing or your future Enotion installation. That's the tubular motors. And L is moving to the third board. So what's up on the third board now? We go into the SAFE5, our new small controller. And I head back to Michael. Oh, was there a question? Oh yeah, you answered already.
So here I am back.
Oh yeah, you answered the questions already?
I already answered the two questions about the motors. Yeah, coming to our SAFE5, next generation of smart home servers. As you can see here, we are talking about a completely new case also for the SAFE5. We are talking about an industrial PC. It's in completely new hardware. It's smaller, it's faster, and we will offer in the future for this device only one app. At the moment, we will start with the GFA4. Some of you already are working with the GFA4 app from Eltako. This app is used nowadays for the mini safe, and in the next few months we will launch a completely new app. It's called Eltako app, and this Eltako app is the only app what we will have in the future. So all devices what we are offering from Eltako will work in the future with this Eltako app. If you are deciding in the next few weeks for the SAFE5, it's possible to use the GFA4. This SAFE5 will have the same software on board as the mini safe, also with the functionality of the mini safe at the beginning, but we will launch more and more functions for the SAFE5. It's also a device for the future. So all the functions, what perhaps you are knowing from the SAFE4, we will implement step by step into the SAFE5. So also the SAFE5 is the device for the future if you want to control a smart home. On board is of course the Enotion chip, so that we can send out Enotion telegrams, and also of course on board is Wi-Fi, as you can see here on the picture with the two antennas. The blue one is for the Enotion and the black one I think is for the Wi-Fi. Of course, you also can connect it, the SAFE5 to your network via cable. So an RJ45 is also on board. Very important on the next page, Michael, is to see here all these functionalities, what are on board. And on the last topic, you can see and read that we do not need a cloud. So if you're, for example, don't like an internet connection to your server, it's not a must. But then, of course, it's only possible to control when you are at home. But all your data are absolutely stored only on the SAFE5. There is no cloud solution, so no informations leaving your house if you don't want to have it. So it's a very safe solution. Yeah, the SAFE5 will coming soon. Hopefully we'll talk about the SAFE5 in the next few weeks, but this is also, the hardware. It's of course, as when we are talking about electronic devices coming from China, and at the moment, everything what's coming from China or nowadays from the rest of the world, it's a little bit delay. We will see how fast we will have it on stock, but we are lucky or we are hoping we will have it soon. We will inform you as soon as possible. Thanks for this topic SAFE5, and on the next page we are going back to the light and building. Michael will show us where we are going now.
Correct, I do. But before we start with the next page, there are some open questions.
Oh, I see.
And I think I have been a bit too quick with the tubular motors.
Yeah.
There are some questions about them, but let me go to that later. First, we try to answer your SAFE5 questions.
Mm-hmm.
I will read them and we can answer them by voice. It's easier for the recording, and so everyone can listen and there's no need to read. Basil is asking, will SAFE5 and Eltako web have alarming functionality?
Oh, good question, Basil. I know that you are working with a mini safe, and with the mini safe, you are also waiting for the alarming functionalities in the whole range what you have seen. I'm sure that we will also implement it, but I don't know when.
I think, Basil, we can, as soon as we have the technical training with the real device, we can simulate the possibilities with this SAFE5, and then we can show you the functionalities in a demo. Can SAFE5 connect with FGW14?
Good question. Also, what Michael said about the technical details, what's possible in the future with the SAFE5, we will see. So our information at the moment from the developer is that the SAFE5 should have at least the same functionality as in SAFE4. And with the SAFE4, you have these options. So let me say yes, but I don't know when.
Okay, next question from Mark. With the change of app, will the old GFA4 app change automatically to the new app, or must the customer do it self?
I think he has to do it by himself. There is no automatically rule, because the Eltako app will work also for other devices. We will see at the end of the Eltako or our webinar now here that we also will use this Eltako app for the Series 64, and the Eltako app will also work for the SAFE5. So I think you have to do it by hand.
I think too, yeah. But again, this will be all shown in the live demo in a separate webinar. Unfortunately, as Michael mentioned already, we don't have the samples here today. Otherwise, we will know way better and can answer your questions in a proper way.
And the SAFE5 will start with the same software from the mini safe. So So if you are buying an SAFE5 in the next few weeks, you only have the same solutions as on a mini safe nowadays. And then step by step, we will increase the functionality of the SAFE5. So I don't know, perhaps it's 21 before we have the whole possibilities of an SAFE4 included into an SAFE5.
Okay. Next question from Jan. Will you give a kind of exchange option, mini safe to SAFE5, since the mini safe was replaced after just a few months? I think this is a point we should discuss when it comes to it. Currently, there is no exchange. The mini safe should work fine and will be supported. And so there's no really need for a change. If there's a need, we can go into discussions. Luis is asking, do you include Google Home or Alexa skills to the server?
Alexa is already included. And Google, I don't know what the developer working on at the moment, but we will see at the end of our webinar where we can use also in the future Google Home and Alexa. But Alexa is already implemented.
Great. Okay, and now we come back to the tubular motors. There are two open questions, but I think in general it's the same meaning. It's if when operating the blinds hits something in recess, it detects the object and stops the motor rotation. This is the question. Does the motor stops if it's blocking somehow? Michael, do you know that?
Yeah, I think we had in Frankfurt the information that it stops, so that it goes, I think, also in the other direction. I think this was what they shown us as well.
There should be a protection mode in it for a detection, same as kind of a garage door. When it's blocking on some way, it stops and returns for a bit. But again, thank you all for your questions, and they are really welcome. The details will be shown in a tech training webinar. All right, so no more open questions for now. We continue. L is on the next spot already. And let's have a look what's on that board. Friends of you push buttons. I think most or all of you knows the U lights, the Philips U lights. And there's also a program, kind of an alliance, other manufacturers providing push buttons, which are compatible to this U lamps. So we do same. The push button inner, the sending module you can see on the FTE215H is the same form factor as the Enotion module. So for us, it's really easy to use the same housing with a different sending module. This is also battery free, and you can plug them in and mix them with our Enotion modules or wired products. So let's say you have a frame with 3 slots and you can use 2 Enotion and 1 Friends of You push button, for example. So you have the same style of rockers and frames, and the difference is just one is sending the Enotion 868 megahertz signal and the other is sending the U signal to the U bridge. You can teach them in. Now I'm waiting a bit if there's coming up a question. If not, I continue. Otherwise, we come back to the questions later.
All our customers are using Enotion, not Philips Hue.
Hopefully. But now we can provide both.
Yeah.
So if you have an existing Enotion installation and you want to extend with Philips Hue, or the other way around, you can use our rockers, frames in different styles and designs.
And you can combine exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, no open questions so far. I continue.
One is coming up now. Yeah.
Can you also offer the complete Zigbee options with 16 channels? No. I simply say no.
Yeah.
Our focus since many years is using an Ocean 868 megahertz because we have the best experience using that into homes and buildings, in residential and in other installations. And we are still focusing on the Ocean 868 megahertz technology. For this here, we use Friends of You, but this is working only with the Friends of You lamps and bridges. Okay, so I continue. On the same board, we have something else. We have the new Ocean multi-sensor. This comes in 4 different styles. Same with the Friends of You push button. We have our different frames. You can plug them in directly, and we have it as a single sensor, like the upper picture FMMS44SB. That one has the same size as the PTM module from an Ocean, and so you can bring them into that frame. And this multi-sensor is really great. It's having on board humidity, temperature, brightness, acceleration, and a magnet read contact. The black surface you can see on the front is a little solar cell, so it's self-powered. You can use that, for example, on a window, and you can control your windows with the magnet contact. And in parallel, you can use the acceleration for having a boiling or any other effects coming to kind of vibrations. Including humidity and temperature and brightness, you also have the informations about your room climate. So this is even an extension of our Ocean portfolio, and you can bring them into our actuators to control other ballast gear and other devices with that. Some question on that product? Not yet, so we continue. All right, L is moving to our last board. And on the last board,
there is one question coming.
There's a question. Will the multi-sensor link with the DALI devices?
At the moment, not. But it's only a question of implementing the telegrams. So this is also a completely new device for Eltako, and we have to implement it, the new telegram, into all our gateways, and we have to do it step by step, of course. But I don't see any reason why we should not implement it into the DALI gateways as well.
Okay, one more question from Andrew. Can the multi-sensor detect tilt angle of, say, a window? No.
No.
Double no. Yes, it's more, let's say it's kind of vibration. It's not the angle measurement.
Yeah. Also, the magnet contact, of course, only can detect is it closed or is it open, but it cannot say is it half open or something like that.
There's another question. Multi-sensor IP rating, IP65.
No, I don't think so. No, it's not IP65.
It could be 54. It could be, but we need to check the details.
Yeah.
But for sure, we will provide you that in our data sheet.
But it's never IP64.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. It's more made for the inner.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. So no more open questions on that.
At the moment,
but if you use wet protect, maybe helps to bring them outdoors. Okay, so let's continue with our last board. And on the last board, we have our new series 64.
Everybody is waiting for it.
Yes, hopefully, yes. Even we do.
Yeah.
So series 64, for those who knows our product range, they know we have the series 61 and we have a new series 62. And this is the continuous improvement and development about the new series to bring up all experience we collected with the previous versions into that with a next step of technology. So as you can see here, we have in this example an FSR64NP, but we provide at the beginning 4 different kinds for 3 different use cases: switching, dimming, and shading. Series 64 has the possibility to be connected by wire. So all of those 4 devices have a wired input. They can be connected with an Ocean 868 as usual, let's say, for the Eltako point of view. And you can connect them with Wi-Fi. So this is just the beginning, because we also make those products compatible with Apple HomeKit, and we are certified in a few days. So the certification process is running, but we are almost ending that and are successful with that. Apple HomeKit certification means you have an Apple chip on board, and it's really certified. It's not only compatible, it's certified by Apple. So because of that, you can use the full range and possibilities of the Apple HomeKit app and the other devices like remote access, etc. In parallel, we are working on Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant. So this will be developed soon. There's no date we can tell you today, but it will come ASAP. About this current situation, you all can imagine that it takes some more days, but we are strongly working on that, and we will have this product running with all of those 3 standards. 4 devices will be ready at the beginning. FSR64NP is a non-potential free switching actuator, including Wi-Fi. I come back to this points later as well. An Ocean and Bluetooth is on board, and you also can go into with a wired connection, and you have as well power metering on board. The second one is also a switching actuator, but this one is potential free, means you can switch other potentials with them. Let me say, for example, a garage door. Then we have an FUD64NPN. That's our universal dimmer actuator, up to 300 watts with the same functionality as both before. And we have an FSB64NP for blinds. So if you connect them to your blinds, you can control your blinds by Siri, for example. The dimensions in wideness, they are a few millimeters larger, but in the depth, they are way smaller. So the max depth is 25 millimeters at the FSR64NP, and all the other 3 are having 23 millimeters in depth. What are the advantages of these products? These actuators are made for flash mount installation. Sure, same as Series 61 or 62 or tap radio, you can bring them into your installation boxes in the wall. We have the tap radio technology on board for teaching in push buttons and Ocean push, and Ocean push buttons. So there's no need to have an app. You can use them. I come back to that point later, but you can start right away with a push button and this device. They have more functions than Series 61 and Series 62, but the price is based on the Series 61. So for the future, this could be your focus product because you have way more options for the same price. Wired push button input, as mentioned already, all of those 4 you can use with a wired push button as well. We have plug-in terminals with up to 2.5 millimeter wires. So this is also really great. 2.5 millimeters is important in some countries, and we provide that with that devices. Power supply runs from 110 to 240 volts AC. So this is a product could be used in all the different nets. And again, the depth is 23 to 25 millimeters. What is unique if you look on that? It's again, Apple HomeKit certified. A Notion is on board. Wi-Fi is on board, which could be activated and deactivated if you not need it. Bluetooth is on board, can be activated and deactivated as well. You have a direct current measurement on 2 of those 4. We have the wired input and we have a real 16 amps relay. So you can switch really 60 amps through that device. Possibilities and plans. Control and settings via the Eltako app. So Michael explained you some things about the Eltako app. In the near future, we will have only one app, and this one will be called Eltako app. So you can control this device with this Eltako app. You also can change the settings for your teach-in push buttons, universal, or whatever you like to have. The functionality of the relay. Is it a relay? Is it an impulse switch? These are all things could be adjusted with the Eltako app, or again, with the tap radio codes. So you have both options, with app or without. Online firmware updates. So these devices can be updated online. This is something really new. We haven't had a chance to update a Series 61 device, for example, in the past. With those devices, you can update online the firmware. License upgrades and in-app purchases coming soon. There's no bigger plan in the moment. The delivery of these products will be in, you have all the options ready, but if we have some modules about in-app purchases, this is also a possibility what could come soon. Notion telegrams will be forwarded via the network. This is planned, mesh with an E instead of an A. Mesh function means you could use this tiny small device as an Notion antenna and bring your telegrams to your network. So you can imagine what range you can cover with those products and this functionality. This is planned and our development is working on that already. Notion telegrams can be linked with Apple, Google, Amazon, or IP. API is coming soon. API, the interface you can bring into other systems, like shown below, open source API for integration in KNX, Loxone, whatever system you will find on the market working with an API, you can integrate those devices into it. For sure, we will have a webinar about these products, a technical training, a how to set up. This is really, really impressive what you can do with all those standards, with the Apple certified HomeKit integration, and later also with Amazon and Google. You can use that product in so many different ways. And this will be kind of groundbreaking for Eltako. And again, we will show that details in a separate webinar.
So we can talk a long time over this Series 64 because it's never old. It's every time possible to update it. So there is the option to talk a long time over a lot of new functions, what's coming with these devices step by step.
Absolutely. There are two open questions from top to bottom. Andrew, when can we have some 64 series to play with? Good question. We like to play with them as well. For sure, we come back to you as soon as we have them. Again and again, it's really sad but true. The situation in the moment worldwide, not only in Germany, not only in Europe, will bring us some small delays. We are still good. Eltako is working. Our production in China is on 120% working today, but we have some little delays. As soon as we will have them on stock, for sure, we let you know.
I also can answer the question from Glenn.
Yes.
Of course, these 110 up to 230 volt, this is the standard voltage range. And as you know, Glenn, also on all other devices, when you see there 230 volt, for example, then it's every time plus minus 10%. So also there we have an plus minus 10%. So 230 volt is never the fixed voltage. So at least it's 253 normally. And of course, down also 110 minus 10%, you can calculate it by yourself.
Correct. Good. So no open questions from now. If you have questions, ask us. That's the reason why we are doing webinars. Ask all the questions you have. Oh, there's coming next. Will the 64 series be certified for North America? There are some plans in mind, Basil. We come back to you with ideas for North America. At the beginning, with the Eltako devices, we start for the European standard because the Notion chip we use on it is 868 megahertz, and this is not used in North America. But there are options. We will inform you about that for sure. Sami is asking, can the Series 64 transfer a Notion signal from older series to Apple?
Why not?
Why not? You can, again, if we talk about the details of Series 64, we need another few hours. It's so impressive what you can do with these little devices. You can bring in a Notion push button, let's say, a Notion Telegram, and you can use it to switch this actuator, or you can use it just as an input, for example, Apple HomeKit. So with a Notion wireless push button from Eltako, you can control your Sonos speaker, for example. If your Sonos speaker is into your Apple HomeKit and your Series 64 device will transfer the signal from the push button into the Apple HomeKit, and then you can combine both of them. So you can have a light switch and besides a Sonos control switch with only that little Series 64 device.
So at the moment, only push button telegrams are implemented, and these push buttons telegrams we are putting through to Apple HomeKit. But of course, our idea is also to put through different kind of telegrams from motion detectors and so on. So if there is a standard EEP used and a motion detector will be implemented in the future, then of course all EEPs with the same EEP will going through to Apple HomeKit as well. But we have to implement it.
I have way better information, Michael.
Okay.
They are brand new. Motion detection and brightness is into the Series 64 from beginning.
From the beginning, okay. So it's only the thing what I saw a few weeks ago. There was only a push button.
Yes, yes.
So, but now motion detectors, and when this EEP from this motion detector, I don't know what EEP is implemented, but then of course all motion detectors also from the whole Ocean Alliance can be used.
Correct, correct. And now you can imagine how big this product will be. And all of us are nervous and cannot wait for having first samples for test. For sure, we will do that ASAP, and we let you all know when we have the products ready on stock. And I'm sure you will love them because they are so way far in development compared to 61 series. And the 61 series is still a great product. Don't get me wrong. Series 61, Series 62, tap radio, for sure Series 14, but this is a DIN-rail installation, is an absolutely lovely product, but Series 64 is way more than that.
Yeah, it's a standalone device on the market. So let me say, we jumped over the Bluetooth technologies with these Series 64. The Series 64 is yeah, one step ahead of the Bluetooth technology, because we are using Wi-Fi. We can use an ocean. We have Bluetooth also on board if we want to use Bluetooth in the future, but we see no reason at the moment for Bluetooth. We want to use an ocean and Wi-Fi because these are the two standards on the market. And with the Series 64, it's yeah, everything on board directly.
Correct, absolutely correct. And yeah, Bluetooth, many of those are making commercials by meshing. But yeah, if you want to use the mesh technology of Bluetooth, it's only the manufacturer's mesh. It's mostly not compatible to other Bluetooth mesh systems. So that means in your building, you need to have some of those Bluetooth devices to create a mesh and to reach each corner. If you use Wi-Fi, and today, most of the households I know, they have minimum one router, sometimes more, and repeaters. So the infrastructure is existing already.
Exactly. You use the same network. You don't have to open a second net for controlling your actuators. So we are using the existing network, the Wi-Fi. And in the future, as Michael shown you on the papers here on the screen, is that we will also use the Wi-Fi as a mesh network for sending an ocean telegrams to the end of your Wi-Fi area. So there are so many options.
Yes.
There were popping up a question from Ivan.
Will you integrate Wi-Fi and Bluetooth also in the FAM14? I can give you a clear maybe. And no, I'm just joking. We start now with Series 64, and for sure we continue with a DIN rail series. If it is called FAM14 plus FAM 15, 16, 17, something, I cannot give you this information by today, but for sure we will bring that technology for DIN rail as well. But this could take some time. We should start now with the 64 series, and then we collect all our bug fixing and stuff we will,
and we also have to make our
64.
experience,
yeah, all the experiences, and bring them in a next step or next product range 14, 15, 16 for DIN rail. Yes,
I'm also sure that this technology will be the technology for the next few years, for the future for Eltako.
Yeah, and if you quickly summarize the possibilities of this product, this is an IoT, a Notion, wired input device with dimensions of a Series 61 without the backpack. So it's a really small, tiny device, and you can have all those possibilities into it. I think this is crazy, and by today, we are the only ones on the market having such a product with all those possibilities. Non-open questions yet. If you have some, bring them to the Q&A. I continue to the next page. And I'd like to summarize what we have seen today. We started today with DALI, 18 new devices we have in our range now. And they are compatible to our DALI gateways, our existing ones, Series 14 and Series 71.
Yeah, also now we can offer projects where DALI is needed. In the past, we could only sell the gateways and no DALI devices, and often the customer asking, why don't you offering DALI devices? Now we have here these 18 different DALI devices, and ask us if there is something missing in the DALI range. Perhaps we can find a way to offer you what you are looking for. So ask us if there is not the right DALI device under these 18 new devices. We will see what we can do for you.
Correct. Correct. Yeah, on the second board, L was showing us tubular motors with an ocean. Perfect for replacement, also perfect for new installations. You can bring them into 60mm tubes, 2 different strengths, 10 newtons and 20 newtons. We have on board, an ocean is ready into it, so you only need the power supply to connect them. The next was SAFE5. Michael did explain you.
Yeah, this is the SAFE5. One more information, of course. With the SAFE5, you also can control, of course, also the Series 64, and also within mini safe, and also within SAFE4, you also can control the Series 64. So the Series 64 will understand the standard telegrams, what you perhaps using since many, many years with our servers. So the SAFE5 is possible to control as well the Series 64. But coming back to the Series 64 is if you don't want to have a server, the Series 64 doesn't need a server at least. This is a topic what we did not talk about, Michael.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. For local access, you not need any kind of server, no gateway, nothing. You can have access directly with your phone, tablet, or for sure simple with your push button, an ocean push button. So, if you want to have remote access, if it comes to the Apple solution, if you use Apple HomeKit, you need one of this Apple remote gateways, let's say. This could be an Apple HomePod, an iPad, or an Apple TV. So both ways are possible, but you not need to have a gateway for direct access, and there's no need for additional clouds, costs, etc. So you can integrate them, again, if it comes to Apple, in your already existing HomeKit program, or when it comes to Google and Alexa, like the same. You use your Wi-Fi as the transmitter.
As the gateway into the IoT world.
Yeah. Correct. Thanks for that information.
Yeah.
So we continue with the summary. Friends of you, push buttons. We have friends of you, push buttons in our housings. You can bring them as well in others if you use the FTE215 without rockers and frames. On the same board, we have seen the new Enocean multi-sensor, humidity, temperature, brightness, acceleration, and the magnet read contact, everything powered with the little solar cell as a standalone energy harvesting product. And at the end, for sure, the Series 64, our new focus product for the next step of building automation.
Yeah, I think the first and the last product groups are the most important products group at the moment for the short future. This is also a question from Simon. Simon is asking, are the DALI gateways, the FDG 71 and 14, are they compatible with the new DALI devices? Yes, of course. There is no different. So of course, all the functionalities what you are knowing from the gateways are possible to use with the DALI devices. On the DALI side, we only control the groups, and so there is no different what ballast gears or actuators on DALI side you are using. It's running without any problem, Simon. Some more questions?
We have the time to wait for a few
No.
seconds. No problem. Take your time for type in your questions.
I'm sure the questions will coming later, or if we are having our separated webinars when we are going a little bit more into the the technical details and so on. DALI parts are available.
There they come. There they come.
Yeah.
The easiest first, Hans. No more question here. Okay.
Okay. Holland is up to date.
Yes. Basil is asking, when are the DALI parts going to be available? Very soon, Basil. They are on the way to stock. Yeah. They are within the next weeks. I mean, again, the situation is not easy to give you clear answers, but I already checked the availability this morning and it's on the way. So they are really quickly available from stock. And what Michael explained, I'm sure after you can imagine what Series 64 will brings up and what kind of solutions you can solve with them. During the weekend, running through your house, garden, wherever, you will find so many ideas you can bring them in and have way more options because of this IoT possibilities then.
Yeah, and we have seen how easy is it to connect an actuator to the app, and it's running directly. And if you see it in one of our next webinars, it's so impressive that you will work directly with it. I'm 100% sure you will love it.
Yeah.
It makes our life also much more easier.
Yeah, well, let's see.
Yeah, of course, at the beginning, you know, we have to talk about it. We also have to find out how is it going on. But I think it's much more easier because we have no rotary switches. You can do it everything over the app, and I have seen how easy is it, and
yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, all of us likes it. Really, it's really great. Again, how simple, how easy you will access your mobile or devices with Series 64, and you can change adjustments. So simple, and you not need to have access to the device. The device could be installed in the wall, and you can have changes from far. So no more open questions till now.
That's fine.
We have some more minutes. Otherwise, there's coming up one. Can the Series 64 send different Enotion telegrams or only the bidirectional signal?
I think we talked about, or we shown this mesh function over the Wi-Fi, and then we should have the option to send also different kind of telegrams, not only the status response. But this is a functionality what we are waiting for, Dennis. So I will give you the correct answer when it's implemented.
Yeah. Then we can use this as gateway for FAM14. Let's have a look on this, Dennis. We are all curious about the possibilities because there's way, way more than we are expecting today. I'm sure our developers are working really hard on that to bring out the first version, and because of the possibility to have online firmware updates, they always and continuously will have more and more functions in them.
Yeah, it's our first device where we can make a firmware update without sending the device back to Eltako, so we can do it online, and this of course gives us a completely new chance. And also the customer, he buys one device and he will have for a long time an up-to-date device. So this is fantastic.
Exactly. So far, no more open questions. I slowly go to the next slide. And this is the, let's say, ending slide. We like to say thank you so much for watching and joining us today. You can follow us on all these social media channels. You can check out our website, which will be renewed the next weeks. For those who have our personal contacts, feel free to contact us. We like to say thank you after the last question. Yes, thank you. Thank you as well. Let me answer that. Okay. So thanks for watching. L is saying bye as well. Take care, stay healthy, and hopefully we meet in the next webinars and in some personal meetings in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you also from my side, and have a nice weekend and a good health. Stay healthy, as L said. Bye-bye.